So this is just a short video on doing like basic stoichiometry. Stoichiometry is comparable to like making sandwiches. If I say I'm going to make 10 sandwiches, I know that if I'm just making a basic sandwich, I need 20 pieces of bread, right? And if I needed meat for it, and I'm only going to put one piece of meat on each one, and again, I'm going to make 10 sandwiches, then I need 10 pieces of meat. So stoichiometry is exactly the same thing. So in chemistry, we say that as long as you have a balanced equation, if you know the number of moles of any one thing, you can figure out the number of moles of anything else. So there's a couple questions on the review quizzes about very, very easy stoichiometry. So this one is, how many moles of oxygen are required to react completely with 1.26 moles of sugar when table sugar is burned? So the first thing that you need to do is to make sure that you have the equation, and they've nicely written out the reaction for you. So all you need to do is balance it. So first we'll start by putting a 12 in front of here to balance the carbon dioxide. We'll put an 11 in front of here to balance the oxygen. So now we have 24 oxygens plus 11. That gives me 35 oxygens I need, but I have 11 in here, so I really only need 24 extra ones, so I'm going to put a 12 in front of here. So what happens now is that the first step in stoichiometry is to figure out the number of moles for the one thing. And they've already given us this one, so they're saying there's 1.26 moles of this. And they want to know how many moles of this there is. So the first step would to figure out the number of moles, but they've already done that for you, so you don't really actually have to do much there. The second step is to take the number of moles, and I'm going to write that it's the moles of the sugar, and you times it by something called the mole ratio. And the mole ratio is always required over given, is what we say. So required is the thing that you have the question mark for. So this thing up here that we had the question mark for. So when I look here, I see that that is 12 moles of oxygen. And given is the thing that they actually gave me the numbers for, which was this sugar molecule here. Remember that when I don't write anything in front of a compound, there's a 1 there, right? So that means that I have 1 mole of C12H22O11. Notice that this moles here are exactly the same as this moles here, so they actually cancel each other off because they're both for the sucrose molecule, which is table sugar. So now what you do on your calculator is you take 1.26 and you times it by 12, and we can divide by 1, because if it was something else like a 2 or something, we would have to do that, right? But just so that you get the idea that if this wasn't 1, you would have to divide by it. And I get 15.12. So sticking with that I have 3 sig figs here, my answer should be 15.1 moles now of oxygen. So you've now converted the moles of sugar into moles of oxygen. So you can figure out how many pieces of ham or how many pieces of bread you needed. Okay, so this is just basic stoichiometry. Another good thing to look at with this question is, for instance, some of the questions might ask, what is the total sum of the coefficients? So in this case, I would have to add all of these together. Many people miss that this one here, because we don't write anything in front of it, it actually counts as 1 still, so you would still need to add that 1. So let's see, if we did 12 plus 11 plus 1, the total sum of the coefficients would be 36, just so that you get another idea of another type of question. Great. Thanks for watching.